guys, Pastor Chris here with my wife Alyssa, and we want to welcome you again to week 5 of 52 major stories of the Bible. This week we're going to look at Genesis, mainly in chapter 12, but we're going to look at some other texts in Genesis, looking at the covenant between God and Abraham.
I think that one of the things that really spoke to me was, we talk a lot about the covenant in the Christian faith, right? We talk about the new covenant and the covenant that he made with Abraham and different things. But, that's one of the words that we use a lot, but what does it really mean? What is a covenant?
Yeah, that's what he spends quite a bit of time on, and he even says we're going to talk about it in further weeks, and he even talks about how we have to remember it as we go into the New Testament. A covenant is a very, very intentional agreement. He talks about the depths that they would go in, slaughtering animals and walking through blood to show the intentionality or the serious nature of a covenant back in the Old Testament times as an agreement between one person and the other. And if one person chose not to fulfill their part of the covenant, then they would be just like that animal that was slaughtered.
Yeah, and I think that it just kind of makes me do kind of a check of my own life and say, do I keep my part of the covenant?
Yeah, he talks about, many times we think of the new covenant as something that God did for us through Jesus, but he makes it very clear that in a covenant, this is a two-part agreement.
Yes, we have to accept his gift of eternal life. We have to accept what Jesus did for us on the cross.
But it also calls us to action. Just like Abraham had action, it's also calling us to step out by faith to a life of action following Jesus. So we hope you really enjoy week 5. There are going to be some discussion questions here in the post, and there's also a link to the video file if you'd like to watch it that way. Hope you have a great week, and hope to see you next week again for 52 major stories of the Bible.